Okay, welcome back. This is going to be part two of training. Due to some technical difficulty, we had to move to a part two. Now, welcome back to our training. My name is Bazzeffanu. I'm Kizari. We're going to get into the three reasons why some people not to start a business. Why not to start a business for some people? Why you shouldn't go into business if you're not prepared? And we're going to continue from our previous section. You know, when we go into, if you aren't in the right place in your life, you're not into the mindset of starting your own business. But the reason why we're here today, we're going to continue a series of webinar tutorial to get you trained up to get back in the mindset of your purpose and why are you here on this planet. Now, whatever purpose it is, we cover different aspects of business. So if you want to get into business or you want to know the reason why you did not get into business, it's time to tackle these obstacles. And we have certain things enrolled that going to create the dynamic so you can get that started if that's what you want to do. Things become super easy now when everything is automated and you're into your own lane. That's what we're trying to train you on so you can go in that lane and be successful at it. Besides that, we're going to go on, continue where we was. We give you a 360-degree analysis of business today so you can get on track to do what you're supposed to do. Now, previously in our broadcast, we was covering if you aren't comfortable with technology, we went into having a weak support system. That's going to be stressful. We went into if you have no good outlet of stress where you can vent your that stress through exercise or a particular event, that's going to be a problem for you to start a business. If you're not willing to give up some hobbies that you have, that's going to put you in a situation that you're not ready to start a business. We want you to ready to start a business, and where your mindset is, that's where your focus going to be. So moving forward, if you don't have the right personality, when it comes to the right personality, that means if you aren't creative, according to the analysis did by Work Hub, we're going to get into, if you're not creative, you're going to have some problem. That means not only you need a creative vision as a business owner, but which to base your company on, but you also need to creative to be facing challenges each and every day. It's inevitable when challenges rise down the road ahead. You cannot avoid challenges. It's come on every level you go to. You need a routine. Now, if you don't have the right personality, you need a routine in order to get you in the mindset of being an entrepreneur. Not 2 days alike. We're talking about a daily routine, not every other day, a daily routine where you can stick to it in getting the job done. If you have to be in control, you're going to have to tame yourself when it comes to a startup company. Because you're going to have to think about your team and you're going to have to move in a way and address issue. Just like octopus, you're going to have many hands going to many areas. So you got to delegate it down. You can't just try to be this entrepreneur over all departments. That ain't going to work. That means you're not focusing time and energy. If you ate networking, you're going to have a problem. We get training for you to go into networking to understand how networking go. We can get you trained up on that. And that's going to be a good way to get yourself trained up.
Call from unknown. Call from one.
So you can, sorry for the interruption. Phone call coming in. So if you're not networking, we got the training for you to network on all social media platforms. So we can get you trained, or if you want to outsource this to us, we can get that taken care of for you. At some point in your business, you're going to have to outsource or you're going to have to train your staff on it. So if you want to train your staff on it, we got the training for you. All you got to do is be the one that access that training, then you can pass it down to your staff. So some of the stuff, when it comes to your personality, if you are disorganized, you're going to have a bit of a problem. When you run a company, disorganized ain't going to be cute. Being messy, going to put you risk you're going to put many risks, or you're going to risk accomplishing a task when it comes to having many deadline. You're going to miss a lot of deadline because you're disorganized. So when you're organized, you're able to pursue what you want to pursue because you have a clear vision. You're going to lose important information, and you're going to fail to follow up on your business most important needs. So imagine that. If you write down all your goals, you can able to accomplish them. So you got to be organized. If you can't handle failure, that's going to be an obstacle. Think about your past failure. You look at them as a learning opportunity, then proceed, right? So if you can't get past the shame, the embarrassment, consider another path forward. You got to get through these obstacles. These are obstacles that hinder a lot of people. Some people's not on the same level as others. We just try to cover it all so you can get through these obstacles. You need perfection. You ain't going to get perfection. Forget it. You just need to get from point A to B. Because if you wait for perfection, by the time you're too late in the market, you require a perfect condition, of course, but perfect wisdom, perfect insight will leave you stagnant and frustrated, because you try to think you're going to get it just the way it is. You just got to get in the market and start moving. Understand that. You ain't going to be perfect. You get overwhelmed easy. If you in the perfection mindset and then start to get overwhelmed, you're going to mess up yourself and your own team. Does the thought of to-do lists overflow you with items you know that you have to get done? And if you don't overwhelmed by it, that means you ain't going to get these items, these lists, these goals achieved. Successful entrepreneurs know how to handle overwhelming circumstances in order to move forward effectively. You're constantly fighting through obstacles every day, so you got to overcome them. If you won't learn the skills. If you got to go on and learn a podcast, go try a podcast, listen to a tutorial, get training on this. Everything you can, just read all the time. There's always tutorials. There's always training. There's always webinar that can help you get the edge so you can stay one step behind the competition. So remember, you have to be willing to learn. If you don't want to wear multiple hats, especially in the beginning, when you're starting out, let's say you're starting out a business today, you have to find yourself not just a CEO, but you got to go into customer service. Not just the customer service, you got to go into accounting. Not accounting, you got to go into research and development, R&D, and more as well. Once you begin to even marketing, so once you begin to develop a system, then you can transfer that marketing to someone else. Let's say if you want us to be the marketing expert for you, you transfer that energy of marketing to someone else, whatever the fee entail, we cover your marketing, and you're able to do that slowly by finding an accountant, cover the accountant, find someone for customer service till you're able to delegate all this responsibility on someone else. But you got to be a specialized individual, cover all these skills, then you go back into specialty when you find a proper team. You can't self-evaluate. That means you have to self-evaluate yourself. It's always uncomfortable, but understand why many people shy away from it. Because sometimes to look in the mirror, it creates a real dynamic in the mind when you got to judge yourself. So you got to judge yourself because it's critical when it comes to your business and essential as being an entrepreneur when you have entrepreneurial skills. So if you are indecisive also, that's going to be a problem. You can't be indecisive when it comes to your business. Business owners are constantly having to make decisions in facing imperfect information. So if you can't choose where you want to go, if you want to go to dinner, if you want to go on any given day or any given night, there's a good sign that you might be struggling with challenges as an entrepreneur. So you got to know specifically what you're going to do and plan your life out ahead. Now, if you can't handle confrontation, some perceive it as confrontation, but some might perceive it as a challenge. Running your own company means facing issue head on. Whatever issue it is, marketing issue, customer service issue, accounting issue, research and development issue, all of this you gotta face daily. So if you don't have to be a jerk about handling it when you gotta delegate it, but you need to be able to compose yourself while you're handling all these tasks. And you need to make sure it get done. You never complete a project. So let's say if you never complete a project from start to finish, you gotta able to complete a project from start to finish. Imagine writing a book. You gotta able to start from the you gotta able to write it out, lay it out, then follow through with it, with the action in order to finish that book, right? Same with the app. You gotta start to finish. Many people get frustrated. You could be just at the end of the road where everything gonna move into a unique dynamic pattern where you can constantly get the momentum you need. So you gotta be able to finish a project. You gotta self-motivate yourself. In a necessary trait of is the necessary trait of an entrepreneur in order to be able to tackle these projects. So you got to be able to finish it. You got to be the boss looking over. You can't be the boss looking over other people's shoulder, but you got to be able to work well to get the job done. Work effective with the team. Work effective with others. You're able to get it done. So moving forward, if you are dishonest, you're not going to be able to accomplish much. Because entrepreneur require honesty when you're dealing with customer, when you're dealing with yourself, when you deal with employees, when you deal with advisor. You got to be honest with them. That's how you're going to get the results. Because it's all about the number at the end. If you rather lie and share uncomfortable truth, such as your number, such as your business when it comes to getting an investor, such as your marketing strategy, such as dealing with any issue that lies ahead, it ain't gonna work out right for you. You know, it's not gonna be favorable. Skip owning a business and going back to being an employee. We try to get you to the mindset of how you're supposed to develop certain core thinking in your mind so you can have success. And this is what this tutorial and training is about. You're thin-skinned. Let's say you have thin skin. Someone say something to you, and then you're quickly ready to go at someone's throat. That's not going to be good. Haters going to hate regardless of what you're doing. Being an entrepreneur means putting yourself out there publicly. Not everyone is going to like you or what you stand for. So you're thin-skinned that won't able to work for you. You got to be able to go through that mindset and understand you're going to ruffle some feathers along the way. At every level, there's another devil. And there's a opposition. There's a competitor. Someone ain't gonna like you. You're stepping in someone's space, and you're stepping out of space where you was normally view into another space. So people ain't gonna like you leaving from this level to go into that level. They start to look at themselves. They criticize you. So think about that when it comes to your business. If you lack energy, think about it. Would you want to work for someone who lack energy, excitement about the work they're doing? Would you? I guarantee you wouldn't either want to work for them, right? Or work with them. So imagine the energy you're going to bring to the table when it comes to your business, come to your mindset, come to your team, come to your accounting, come to your research and development, come to your marketing, come to any aspect of customer service too. You got to have the energy in order to transfer that energy into your business. Because you're building a community, and your community got to move according to your plan. You can't motivate others. Imagine, people come with their problems at work every day. You got to be able to motivate others for them to get over the hump. You got a vision, and you got a vision for your employees, right? You got a vision for your customer, right? You got to motivate others to purchase your product. You got to motivate others to be a part of your business. You got to be able to do that. Scaling a company means adding employees, and the employees are only as good as you can motivate them to be. And if you're able to do that, you're going to achieve great success. If you can't focus now, working as an entrepreneur means cutting through thousands of distractions in order to focus on others that move the needle of your company. If you can't focus, you can't do that in a business. That means you can't handle running a business. These are some of the reasons why people do not start their own business, or why you shouldn't start your own business unless you're ready to get through these obstacles ahead. If you hate being wrong, that's also a personality trait that you need to go get counseling on too. That means you're going to be wrong and you're going to be held accountable for what you do, whatever it is. Your accounting, your marketing, your customer and employees not getting along. That going to be some accountability you got to take in account when it comes to dealing with a business. Learn to get over it and get out of your way. If you get out of your way, you're going to have massive success. But if you ain't getting out of your way, you're going to have problems moving forward in the future. Now, if you don't know how to sell, this is going to be a problem. That's why we get you trained up for you to understand how to sell. Because marketing is the most important part. Once you get your products, marketing is the most important part of your business. You got to know how to sell. If you don't know how to attract customers, we got that training for you. We help you to understand how to attract customers. We even have plan. If you want to have our ads, have us work your ad for you, we can do that for an annual fee where we can help you get your ads, help you set you up and move forward, help you to get the training you need, put you in the mindset of how business credit is, and then we're going to move you forward in that dynamic right there. So you got to be upfront with what you're doing. You got to be successful. You got to have actual sales, and you got to sell the goods and service that your customer need. So you got to study the market and advertising before launching your company. If you don't know how to get your message in front of possible customer, you're going to have problem. We're going to train you up and teach you how to get that message before customer. If you don't understand the difference between features and benefit, then you're going to have a problem, because you got to convey this information to your customer in order for them to come. Know your company and what it does, and know what it means for a customer. Learn the distinction inside and out before jumping into entrepreneurship. So when it comes to your mindset, you got to consider everything in play in order to be successful. You can't express your value proposition in a compelling way, you're going to have a problem. You got to be able to express your value in a compelling way. You know your company has value, but can you express it to consumers? Can you express it in that way that motivates them to take action? You know, you want them to call to action. Once you send your advertisement out there, you're studying your advertisement, you want your customer to call to action. You want to present your benefit, present your features of why they should buy your product. Call to action is the next step. If you don't know how to listen to your customer too, once you get that feedback, ignore your customer feedback is a red flag. You don't want to ignore your customer feedback. You want to get those feedback in order to understand what you need to do and to change the dynamic to bring more customer in. It's like trial and error. This is why if you don't go through the failures and the error, you won't learn how to be proficient, because this is what all companies do before they become proficient at it. You don't know how to listen to your customer, ignore them feedback, that's not going to be a good sign. So you want to be successful, right? Listen requires the energy and openness, but it's necessary if you want to be successful. So consider some of these obstacles that you need to get over in your personal self if you want to have a successful business. Now, moving along, if you aren't able to sell, mentor, investors, and other stakeholders on your vision, as an entrepreneur, you just aren't cutting out to selling to customers. You got to be able to sell to mentors, to investors, to stakeholders in order to be able to articulate to a customer, what are you selling? So what are you selling? What's your vision to people you want them to come on board with you and to join your company, to join and inquire or receive your service and spend money for whatever service and product you're selling. You got to understand that. If you can't get a partner on board with you, then you're going to have an obstacle. Many successful entrepreneurs partner with others who can who can help them with their weaknesses. Whatever weakness you have, if you get a partner, they can help you with your weakness. If you can attract a partner, it could be because of your weakness you haven't considered it. So we want to help you to get everything in line so you can move forward. And we partner with you to get you on the level where you need to go with your company. So consider that if you're moving your company ahead. If you don't know how to motivate employees to do their best work, you got to get them trained up. This is why we provide these training for you so you can get all your team online. If you hate to sell the employees on your vision as well, if they don't buy into it, you gonna have a problem. Of course, they're gonna spend their energy at your company. You gotta sell them on the vision. You gotta sell them on your community and never give up the effort of doing your best. You gotta do the very best of selling everybody that come towards you about your company. Thinking about that. If you can't handle risk, now there's risk in dealing with business. There's risk and there's rewards, and they're going to be pleasure. An entrepreneur mean you got to understand you ain't going to like uncertainty. If you don't like uncertainty, that's going to be a situation where you ain't going to go into business. There's time where you're going to do things and you're uncertain about it. If you're building an app, you're uncertain that the app's going to reach the number that it's supposed to reach. Customer going to like what you're going to like. If you write a book, you're uncertain about it. If you don't know how to minimize those risks as an entrepreneur and don't take the risk for the hell of it, then you ain't going to know the result that could have happened when you take that risk. So you got to take the risk. You got to educate yourself of everything you can do to minimize the risk of failure. Successful entrepreneur don't take big risks just for the thrill of it. So you got to consider that too. They rather have calculated risks where they can able to analyze the situation and look for opportunities. So develop these skills and these pattern of thinking in your mind so you can limit any risk in the future or big risks that going to cause a massive failure. If you don't have a mentor who can help you along the way, then you're going to have a problem. That's why we're here to help you, to mentor you, to move you in the right direction. Else you can always find mentor later, which is good. But the longer you go without them, the longer you lose out on valuable resources that could help you understand the risks you're facing and how you should proceed. So let's say you come across this video. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, and even share. Because this is a part of building your business. You got to share the mindset with customer, with employees, with your team. So let's say you come across this. This is more like a mentorship to get your mindset into a right dynamic brain pattern where you can focus on what ahead. If you're going to get your mind right, you ain't going to get your business right. Where your mind go, that's where your business go. Imagine that. So you can always find a mentor later, but make sure you proceed in getting that connection. If you couldn't handle being sued, oh yeah, you're going to face every level causes its own risk and its own benefit too, right? So lawsuit happen. Hopefully you never face one, right? But if you thought of being sued, it's enough to break you. But look at the reward if you go through it. You may not have the risk tolerance need for a business ownership if you can't understand you got to go from one level to the next. So don't have a plan for handling negative press. You better know how to handle it. That's what you have public relations expert in your business. You're going to have to hire someone that deal with the image of your company. If you don't have a plan to handle these things, you're going to have obstacles along the way. So you got to have a disaster control mechanism in place. While you hope that you will never face these press disasters, it's important that you think on it now, about it too, and how to handle it in the future. Losing everything would bankrupt you. But Aren't you already bankrupt in a situation where you live in 9 to 5? Cause they say if you lose one check, you're in extreme poverty right there. So imagine as an entrepreneur, it is ultimately risky, but they're also beneficial in the end. If you bankrupt, if bankruptcy comes, it will destroy some of you, right? But neither an airtight plan plus a series of contingency backup plan or another career. So let's say you're going to develop an app. You have the skills already for a backup career because you know how to be a programmer, right? But if you just go write a book, unless you have the skills already as an author or go into be an editor, that would be a contingency of a backup plan. Let's say if you're going through anything, you got to have a backup plan, or else you're going to have to go drive a truck as your backup plan. So whatever it is, you're going to have a backup plan to handle the risk. Your finance are in order, or is it right now? Or if it's not in the right order, these are some of the obstacles why people don't start a business. Your credit score is low. Having a low credit score doesn't mean you can't start a business, but it doesn't mean to struggle to get growing capital in your favor with vendors too. Get ready for the mindset of what? Tackling all these things ahead. You're rolling in debt. Your creditors won't care that you have less to pay them with because you putting money into your new venture. Starting a business when you have a existing debt load is a very risky position to be in. So imagine that. Low credit, many debt, you have extensive financial obligation. Simple math, is it? If you have expensive mortgage, excessive car payment, monster student loan, or other financial obligation, you have fewer resources to dictate to your company growth, isn't it? So you got to think of how to change your personality in order to bring investor in if you have a good idea. And you got to team up with people, get advisors if you need to go down this road. Because financial issue put you in a bit of a situation where you can't achieve what you want. And sometimes the system's set up in that way because we was miseducated when we was going through school. Think about getting a job, going through all of that debt, and then you can't pay back. So think about these obligations that you have to pay back or move ahead and get a partner with. So when you consider that, make sure you're able to handle your finances or team up with partners that can help you along the way. You don't have a budget. If you don't know what you need to live, you don't know how much you can safely invest in your company, right? So start smart and start by knowing your financial requirement. You need a steady paycheck to survive. Once you know your financial requirement, consider carefully how you can meet them, right? If you need a steady paycheck, you need to stay in the current job. Self-insurance isn't an option for you. So imagine that. You're going to need the self-insurance. Purchasing private health insurance can be prohibited expensive and may not offer the coverage you need if you have a family members that into a serious medical condition, right? But it's frustration that such a simple factor could hold you back from launching a company. But in reality, for many, U.S. family is in that space right now. And you got to start off smart, do your investigation, learn skills that you need in order to overcome them. If you assume it'd be easy to get a bank loan, think again. Reports show 80% of small business loan applications are currently being denied by big banks. Don't expect that option will be available for you if you do have strong credit and saving. So imagine, even if you do have strong credit and saving, that option even ain't going to be available for you. You have no funding plan beside venture capitalists. Likewise, don't expect that investor is going to fall into your lap and hand you millions also. Pursuing venture capitalists is practical a full-time job in itself. That's why I never go off to find venture capital, because you have to hope that you hit someone that gonna give you money. So assume you'll be a crowdfunding success. When you assume that, that's also put you in a dangerous position. Crowdfunding success stories are everywhere, but raising capital on these platforms is anything but easy. If you committed to crowdfunding study success stories and planned to put a lot of work in your campaign, is also a full-time job. So you don't have a backup plan in place, you're going to have a problem. What will you do if the company fails? Having a backup plan in place before you set out will minimize the stress associated with possible failure. So you have to put all these plans in place just in case that things don't work out for you. It'd be difficult if you get a new job if you left your current position. But if you're released from your job, then you have to get a new job, right? If you're in an industry or a job description where getting a new job quickly is not a given, reconsider entrepreneur. Or at least have an incredible solid backup plan in place. If you want to create an app and that ain't given that your app will work, then you always can fall back with your developing skills, right? Other people rely on your income. It's one thing to risk your own financial future, but the partner, parents, children, or other rely on your income. So you need to be more proactive about backup plan. So whatever your backup plan is, take that in account. Be proactive at it and make sure you work that backup plan. Now, what we're going to go into is your idea. Is your idea bad? Because that's going to rely on whether you get the finance or not. Is your idea bad? Your idea is your baby. There's very little that hasn't been done before, right? The idea isn't a special snowflake and treating like it will prevent you from receiving important feedback or pivoting when you need to, right? You don't have an idea in the first place. If you don't have an idea, you don't launch a company. You got to have an idea to launch a company. It should be as simple as that. And yet so many people let their desire of owning a business outweigh their lack of planning. So you might desire to own a business, but you got to have a plan. You got to have an idea. That's different from what's out there. You don't have a plan for turning your idea into a business, that's going to be a problem. You got to have an idea that's going to turn into business. An idea isn't everything, and not all ideas make for a successful company. You don't necessarily need a formal business plan, but you do need to understand how your idea will be profitable, especially if you want to start to own a business. If you haven't told anyone about your idea, sharing your idea with others early on revealing weakness that can be addressed before you put any money into it. Don't be so afraid of being ripped off that you'll barely go ahead with your ideas. You should have rightly steered into the direction where you need to go and stay away from the direction where you don't need to go. So make sure you tell your idea and see where it's going to evaluate by others. You have no compelling value proposition. What's make your idea special? That's going to be a question. Can you definitely be articulate, or can you definitely move forward? Can you present your idea successfully? Can you rethink and launch it in the first place? So these are some of the propositions you need to have in your mind, or have the mindset so you go into that business. If you don't have the resources to execute your vision, how are you going to get ahead? So you want to launch an international tech conglomerate, right? And you have $100 to your name. While resource take partner venture capital exists, your idea needs to be at least somewhat in the line with what you can reasonable harness. Can you reasonable harness it? That's going to be a question. You don't know pre-launch marketing testing. Don't launch a company without data proven demand for the product or service you envision. A few successful Google AdWords or Facebook ad campaign can prevent you from diving into a venture that won't be successful. But let's say if you advertise for 100,000, right, and you get 10,000, check out your website. Now, if your website is not up to par, you got to get the website up to par in order to go back and investigate if you can get these 10,000 sign up, because they view your product. But if you lack the money, how you can move forward with that? You already did your research. If your research come that it's possible you can get 10,000 people to like your product, then you might have a possible idea that can work. If you want to get into a high competitive market, again, competition isn't a bad thing. But if you want to start, say, the next Facebook, know that you're facing an uphill, resource intense battle. So how you going to be different from that? That's going to be the question. It's an uphill battle, so you got to consider that. If you don't understand the market you're entering, why should you sell products or service to people you don't understand? Spend the time with your target market that you understand their needs and motivation. That will put you in a different dynamic where you can get what you need. You're going on board with a family member ideas. Just because brother Jim has a great idea doesn't mean that you have to join him. So imagine if you have an idea, you got to think about that too. For those that someone else coming with this idea, that don't mean you have to join him. Let's see where he goes with it. Then you can see if you want to go into it later on. Now, if you don't know what you are doing, that's going to be a problem. If you don't understand how business work, running a successful company requires a process like customer service, HR, R&D, and accounting. Be wary of launching your own business if you don't understand how all these systems work together. If you don't understand what a business needs in order to scale, you're going to have have an idea of how to take it off. You need to scale your company, which means shifting job responsibility, expanding in other ways. Unless you deliberately start in a small company, understand from the start how business scale can help you to set things up correctly and facilitate future growth. So you want to go into that dynamic, understand how your business is going to go into these level if you don't have what you have in place already. So if you don't know how to delegate, that's going to be a problem. You got to know how to delegate your skills in order for your business to work. As you grow your business, your startup expand, how you going to pass down these responsibilities? You got to know how to hire, train new people. That's why we help you to get the understanding of what you need to do, because you can't micromanage everybody, but you got to get them on the way in order for your business to move into that area where you want to be successful. If you don't know how to hire, there's plenty of platform for you to know how to hire. We can also help you with that, to move forward with that. Eventually, you'll be able to bring an HR team in that know how to do what they know how to do as far as hire personnel, and you need to bring them on early so you can make a difference in your company, because that's a central part of the science of your business in order for have success. Something you need to learn if you want to grow your business. If you aren't comfortable firing unperforming employees, then you ain't going to be successful, because remember, poor cash flow is going to result to that. So if they have poor results, it's time to go get rid of people and bring in new people in that place. Now that you're running a business, you have to make tough decisions each day, which can include firing people sometimes through nice or out wind. Can you handle being a bad guy? That's going to be the question. Because if you can't handle being a bad guy, your business ain't going to work. You got to be the boss. So firing someone is a good thing. You let people go. Let them go with that energy to someone else. You don't understand cash flow. You got to understand our cash flow. Because if you have poor cash flow management, one of the leading causes of small business failure in the U.S. So you can't have poor cash flow management. You got to handle the cash flow. If you don't understand the basic accounting, how you going to be able to calculate your cash flow, the basic understanding of accounting, you need to hire accountant. Bring on an accountant later, or an agency that going to help you in the foundation before taking that business to the next step. So consider this when you're moving your business forward if you want to be successful. If you don't know how to price your product, surely you should have a competition already. But if you gotta understand the value of what you bring forth and how you can compare it to your competition when charging the right price. Product pricing rely heavily on consumer psychology. If you don't get it right, you're never going to generate cash flow that going to give you what you need. If you don't know how to establish vendor relationship also, that going to be a problem. Launching a physical product means sourcing manufacturers. So you got to be able to get distribution online and able to do all of that. You need to do plenty of research to indulge in order to get started. So imagine what you have to do when it comes to your research. Make sure you do it thoroughly. If you don't know these things, then you're going to be in a bit of a problem. So let's move forward as we able to tackle these things for you. You are terrible at customer service. When you launch, you may be the customer point of contact. Being rude, forget or dismissive, reflect how your company is, because you are the head of the company. If you don't have a good personality, then the review is going to be bad. When it comes to review, it will shut your company down. If you hate data, successful entrepreneurs strive on gathering data and understanding what it's telling them. Learn to love the numbers if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. So you got to love data. You got to love what's coming at you. You got to look at all the angles in your business, all the steps that you need to take, all the obstacles that you need to come. And one of the things you got to understand is how you got to look at your report. So if you can't read analytics report, that's going to be a problem. Analytics report are the second half of the data equation. They're necessary to understand in the impact of your data, which means that the necessary part of your day or day-to-day routine should be about data. So understanding data is a part of it. If you don't know how to get target matrix in place to be successful in your company, you're going to have a problem. So you got to be laser focused on a matrix that going to make your company grow. So pushing the business ahead, getting trained up, understanding, cover these things is going to put you in a good or bad position. So don't know what success means. Success is about how you're going to look at your goals. When it comes to your revenue goals, when you look at your target number, your subscriber, when you look at your how press and national magazine going to look at you, when you look at how you can define success, when you look at how you can align yourself to achieve it too. So you got to take action in order to do that. And the right action going to get the right result. If you don't know when to abandon failed project, entrepreneurs know they had to be ruthless about cutting their loss. No matter how much they love or pour into a product, when the number tells you to go, to let it go and do something else, you got to consider that too, because that's going to be a pitfall when you have low number. If you can't innovate, why launch a business if you can't innovate, and doing business is a usual thing. You got to be able to innovate as you move forward. That's a part of being successful. So you got to strive for excellence and innovate when you need to innovate. So one of the things you understand is obviously that there's no single one can meet any different criteria, because there's many criteria or many situations that you're in at this current time. But you cannot be perfect to start a business. You need to understand as much as you need to in order to launch a company. So you got to understand that mindset that you need to. So in conclusion, you are the key to your own success, whether you're working on your job or whether you're starting your company. But you got to be honest about your weakness and take the necessary step to adjust them. You'll find out that all the effort you'll be worth, all the effort in starting your business, there will be a reward in the end. It will be worth it when you look at the overall things you can accomplish in the end if you just start now. So this concludes our broadcast. You can check out that link if you want to know more about these study when it's come to starting a business. So if you want to start a business, make sure you go into the right mindset of starting a business. Again, we thank you for stopping by. We can't stress enough what you need to do in order to start a business, but we hope that you understand the dynamic of why you need to put yourself in a good place when it comes to starting your own business. So this concludes our broadcast. We thank you for stopping by. Make sure you go over this information again to get it ingrained in your mind, so you know the step that you gotta take and the obstacle that you gotta look over and get over in order to have that massive success. Again, thank you for stopping by. We're gonna exit this with a brief infomercial.
Managing your business can be a huge headache. For one thing, you have to manage your business profile on multiple social media sites, not to mention ads, so you don't have a huge gap of losing potential customers. You also have to find a way to get key clients. And even once you do, you run the risk of losing money in many areas of managing a business. Plus, there's the challenge of searching the right market, getting the right product, finding wholesaler, getting the right manufacturer, and handling transportation, not to mention financing, so you can maintain the edge over the competition. As a result, managing your business growth is more time consuming and a big hassle than you bargained for. Unfortunately, there's a better way. Introducing Amiki, a one-stop all-in-one platform, a business managing network that handles everything for you, so you can relax knowing you have left your focus on expanding your business and maintaining customer relationship. Introducing Amiki, a multi-business network that is a social network for business, where we offer your company to go fully digital online by automating your business and bringing quality clients, so you can relax knowing you left your hands to the experts. We offer all the resources that your business needs, from financing, logistics, manufacturing, accommodation, by bringing to your clients all in one app for customers that looking to automate their customer experience. With Amiki, a one-stop all-in-one business managing network application that handles everything for you, so you can relax knowing you left your focus on expanding your business and maintaining customer relationship. With Amiki, we manage all your automation of a business so that your business is continuously gaining clients and have a steady stream of extra income. And we organize your business using our automation, so you don't have to worry about losing customers. This also makes entry easy for your business, result in a better online experience as business goes fully digital. Plus, because the cost of managing and operating a business can be more than you expected, you can easily find prospective talent using our career automation platform. And because we have done all the steps for you to manage your business successfully, you never have to worry about even marketing your business all by yourself. But perhaps the best thing of all is that we offer you a flat monthly rate. There's no hidden fees or surprise charges. Instead, you pay the same amount every month, so you can easily track your expense. We'll even manage all your social network for free for the first year. To learn our Amiki, a one-stop all-in-one business managing network application that handles everything for you, so you can relax knowing you left your focus on expanding your business and maintaining customer relationship. To learn how Amiki can make your business management hassle-free, speak to one of our representatives today by visiting amiki.com or by calling 1-833-510-0130. To learn how Amiki can make your online business hassle-free, sign up today using any social media account, then select the category for your business in accordance to the National Classification Standard. Then select one of our payment plans, where we offer a 3-ad special offer, where we make all your ads for free on all your social media presence. Do you want to have an ad just like this ad you're watching now for your own business? By selecting our annual payment plan, you save over $5,000. where we run your ad market campaign for the first 3 months, and all the ad video is yours. Speak to one of our representatives today by visiting amikey.com or by calling 1-833-510-0130.
This concludes our broadcast. We thank you for stopping by. We're going to get you some more information. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And we see you next time.